Yo, what up? My name's Darren. You can call me Dujin. I know ain't nobody calling me that, but you can call me that. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to create this energy ball effect that was inspired by Dragon Ball Z when Goku was about to slime out the Supreme Kai. So this is my little take, my little twist on it. I'm gonna try to make this as fast, as clean as possible. We're just gonna run through it. Hopefully this takes, no more than 10 minutes, so let's go. So this is my footage. I walk up, boom, put my hand out. Energy ball is supposed to be here, obviously. So first thing I want to do, I'm going to go ahead and right click, create new, make a null object. I'm going to go to the point where I want the ball to start to manifest. So right around here, I'm going to track this footage. So I'm going to click on the footage. I'm gonna look for a point of high contrast on my hand to track, and it's like this little part at the bottom of my palm. So I'm gonna click that. I'm gonna go over here to tracker. I'm gonna click track motion. I'm gonna edit target. It's gonna be this null that we just created. Nice. Now I'm gonna go to this tracker, wait till the cursor gets black, and that means I can grab it and manipulate it. I'm gonna look for that area of contrast on my hand, on my palm. Let me zoom in a little bit, make this tracker a little bit bigger, make both these a little bit bigger so that I have more room to work with. Yeah. All right, boom, right there. And now I'm just gonna click this forward button so I can analyze it forward, let it track. Cool. I'm gonna let it run all the way through. We're done. So I'm gonna hit apply X and Y. Yep. So now my null should have that tracking information. So yeah, we got the tracking information. You can see it tracking. Nice, it's that little square. All right, so what we're gonna do now is create new, make a solid. Make the solid white. I'm gonna call this my ball. Enter. Nice. We're gonna go over here, effects, presets, and type of CC sphere. Click on that. Go to shading. Turn ambient to 100. Drop all the other things down to 0. We don't need any of that. And then I'm going to make the radius 300. So we have a nice size ball. Nice. I'm going to click on this ball, right click, pre-compose it, bring it to another composition. Yeah, click the second option to bring it to another composition. Press OK. Double click on the ball. Right now we got the ball. What I want to do is I'm gonna add a fast box blur onto it, onto my ball. I'm gonna make it, I'm just gonna put 10. Nice. Now I'm gonna add a wiggle to the ball, a wiggle for a scale. I'm going to uncheck this box right here. Then I'm gonna put 10 for speed, 5 for amount. So it's my ball. Nice looking ball, right? All right, what I want to do is I'm going to duplicate this ball too, and I'm going to rename this one to energy. Nice. I'm going to take the wiggle off this time. Take both of these off. I'm going to take the fast box blur off too. I'm going to keep the sphere, but I'm going to turn it off for now. What I'm going to do is drag a fractal noise. Nice. Drag it above the sphere. Cool. Now I'm going to turn it to dynamic progressive and invert it. What I want to do is animate this evolution. So I'm going to alt click, type in time times, I don't know why it disappeared. So time times 500. So now you'll see it's moving and gyrating and stuff. Let me turn down the quality. Yeah, so it's moving stuff, looking good, looking nice. Did I invert it already, this energy? Yeah, I did. Okay. And then I want to animate the offset turbulence in this transform drop down. So alt click, open bracket, 0. 0 means that it'll move vertically. If I put 1, it means it'll move horizontally. So 0 comma time times 500. Clearly the time times whatever value you put in makes it go faster or slower. So now this is going down with the energy moving. I want to adjust the scale of this too, so I'm gonna uncheck this uniform scaling, change the scale width. Actually, the scale width can stay the same. Scale height, we can change that to 300. Nice. Now it's moving like that. Okay, cool. Great, great, great. Close this. On the radius for this, I'm going to turn it to 500, and then I'm going to turn CC Sphere back on. But I'm going to go to rotation and change the top value on the right to -90. So now the energy should look like it's coming directly from the center. I like that a lot. I'm going to pre-compose this layer, call that energy again, and then set it to screen. Now I'm going to use the ellipse tool, the ellipse mask, zoom in a little bit, hit the center of both of our circles, try to get as center as possible, hold Control and Shift, and then drag out. That's fine. And I'm going to hit F to feather it to like 100. So now I got this ball of energy that looks like this. I'll probably hit M a couple times to bring up the rest of the mask features. I'll probably bring it down a little bit, so you can go to mask expansion and bring it down if you want. You know, do it how you like it. But now I got the ball pulsing in the middle with the energy coming out from it. And I like that. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'll probably go in here, take this energy, I'm going to copy it, come back into this composition. I'm going to drop it in here again, and we'll come back for this because there's something I want to do. But first, before we leave it, I'm going to go back to uniform scaling. I think I'll go back to uniform scaling, yeah. And then I'm going to pre-compose this to energy too. And then go back to our main comp. All right, so I'm going to turn that off. Actually, I'm going to bring it to the main comp position. Control X, bring it to your main comp. Put it in. You just turn it off for now. In fact, yeah, turn it off for now. Drag it behind the ball layer, right? And what you want to do is put your ball where you want it to go, but also parent it to the null. So my ball is parented to the null, meaning that it will move with the null. As you can see, when the null moves, my ball will move. Let me turn down the quality again. Null moves, my ball moves. Cool, nice. Okay, we're going to duplicate my null. And then we're going to pre-compose the null with this energy too. But this time, I'm going to turn the energy back on. So the null is going to be with my energy too. I'm going to put my energy too right behind this energy right here. Cool. And now I can pre-compose them together. So what I'm doing when I do this is I'm keeping the tracking information from the null. So now that I have that here, I'm gonna just turn this pre-composition off, and I'm gonna create a new adjustment layer. And then I'm gonna make a displacement map. What that does, it'll add pretty much displacement based off of the pre-comp that I'm gonna choose. It doesn't have to be on, it just has to be present. So I'm gonna click luminance, put in 20 here, 20 there, and you should see some distortion waves coming off. So it looks like some type of heat energy. Now, if you want to change the way the distortion looks, you can always go back in and edit it a little more. I'll probably do some work on that later. But we can turn off the adjustment layer for now and then rework it a little bit better after we finish this energy ball. So on this energy ball, it already looks good. I'm gonna set it to screen. We see it's following my hand. I need to make it grow in and out. So right around here, I want it to be fully formed. So I'm gonna press S. We got the ball. I'm gonna click the stopwatch on the full sides of it. And then I'll go to when I want it to start forming, which is like right around here, and I'll drop it to 0. So boom, now it grows in, nice. So I'm gonna take my ball and my null, and then I'm gonna pre-compose, I'm gonna call that ball 2. I'm gonna set that back to screen. So we're pre-composed with the tracking information still intact. Now I'm gonna show you how I look to do my glows. There's a free colorization plugin called VC Color Vibrance from Video Copilot. from Video Copilot. So go ahead and get that. There's tutorials online on how to get that. That helps you colorize things, and it's gonna really help with this. So I'm gonna add my VC Color Vibrance. I'm gonna click this, and then I'll probably change it to blue because I like blue. Enter. All right, now what I want to do is duplicate this and then add a fast box blur. I like to do this for my glows because I don't really like the glow tool that's built into After Effects. So I want to turn this to like maybe about, actually before I do that, drag the box blur above the color vibrance. So now I'm gonna drag that a little bit. I'll probably drag it to around here. Let's do 60. 60, okay. Now I'm gonna duplicate this one more time. And this one, I'll probably drag to like 150. Yeah, let's do 150. And then maybe one more time, just to be safe. And, great. So now we have a nice little glow coming off. We see it springs in. Nice. Cool, so it's looking pretty good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pre-compose all these balls one more time. I'm gonna call it ball final. It's the final ball. I should call it ball Z, honestly. All right, we're gonna screen this. I actually have a little shockwave. You can get a shockwave free off of YouTube that you can just, put into here to add a little nice extra oomph to it when the ball comes out, I'm gonna go ahead and add mines. I'm gonna right click, go to time stretch, and turn that down to 25 to make it 1/4 the speed. I'm gonna go ahead and click add on that. And then I'm gonna go to the point where the ball starts to manifest. If you hold control and then click the back forth arrow, you can kind of go back and forth through the frames. So right here is where the ball starts to come in. So I'm gonna hold a function and click the open bracket, and it should snap this right to where it needs to be. I'm gonna center this on the ball, and now I have a nice little shock wave when the ball forms in. But what else I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold Control X and go into the ball final composition and paste that at the top so they're all together. Go back into the main composition, and I'll just add a tint to bring everything back to the same color, and then add VC Color Vibrance again so that they all have the same color at the same time. And now I can edit the color however I want and turn it, any color of the freaking rainbow, honestly. This red looks pretty good, so let's just keep it here. So now we got the red energy ball coming in with the shock wave, ball pulsating, energy pulsating. And then we're gonna go back into our pre-comp with the energy that we have. Energy 2 going to there. And I think I want to change the way that looks a little bit. So let's actually turn off uniform scaling again. I'll probably make this 300 too. And turn down the brightness. Turn down the brightness a little bit. Play with this a little bit so we can get some nice little distortion. And then I think I want to increase the scale of this a little more, not gonna lie. And one more thing I'll do is I'll add another ellipse mask to this so that the edges are feathered out nicely. So I'll go like right here, hit F, feather out like 100. Okay, maybe on that mask I'll go a little bit more. So I'll go to the mask expansion. I'll increase it a little bit. So nice. Now I'll turn back on the adjustment layer. You should see that it all comes in together. Have the nice little distortion waves. Got the ball. Got the shock wave. Uh-oh. All right, here's another problem. I'll just fix this. The distortion's already happening because this whole layer is on. It's already playing. This pre-comp layer. So I'll just go to the adjustment layer right now. I'll press T for the opacity. Stopwatch, turn that to 0. Wait for the ball to fully manifest, and then I'll go and click. I'll go and turn it to 100. So that once the ball is fully manifested, so is the distortion. Instead of the distortion always being active. So now you got me walking up, you know, boom, hand out, energy tracked, distortion tracked, everything tracked. You can change the ball color as much as you want, you know. Ball looks like, you know, kind of like how I guess a Dragon Ball Z ball would look. Solid inside, but the outside, you know, has the energy coming off. If you want, you know, you can always go back in, customize the way the ball looks. Just go back into all your layers and stuff. This energy layer. I do like the way this energy looks. Maybe I'll bring the brightness down to like what? Maybe -35. Oh, I said -35, dude. Maybe turn up the contrast a little bit. Let's see how that looks. Well, that's it for my energy ball tutorial. Got the ball pulsating, got the energy, got the distortion. In fact, you can put this distortion behind the ball if you don't want it to change the way the ball looks, but that's how I bring everything together. So I really hope you liked the tutorial. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Let me know what else you want to see. I'll probably be doing some more Dragon Ball Z videos, but that's really all. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So, peace.